You're watching Machindo's hometown station, HTV1.
Hello everyone, it's Brett Boyd from the Market House, where we have adjusted our hours to serve the community and keep our community and our associates safe. So now Market House is available to you from 9 until 6 every single day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with an exclusive shopping hour for seniors from 9 to 10. And don't forget our text shopping service as well, 517-234-2020. Market House is here for you.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
From Machindo's news leader, this is HTV1 News at noon.
Well, case counts increase, and once again, it's Hillsdale County seeing a sharper spike. Well, good afternoon, Machindo. I am Scott Pienta. The latest numbers as of yesterday afternoon show that 56 cases and 5 deaths have been confirmed in Hillsdale County, and some of those case numbers can be attributed to an outbreak at the Hillsdale Medical Care Facility. But we'll come back to that in just a moment. In Branch County, there are 16 confirmed positive cases of the novel coronavirus and 32 at the Lakeland Correctional Facility, with just 1 death overall. Lenawee County holds steady at 32 cases, no deaths, and 3 recoveries. Steuben County is now up to 9 confirmed positive with no deaths. Williams County remains at 1 case, and Fulton County remains at 5, both with no deaths. The Hillsdale County Medical Care Facility reported yesterday that another of their residents had died of COVID-19. Again, a man with underlying medical conditions. They also report that 10 residents now have tested positive for the coronavirus. As the facility previously reported, some staff members also tested positive, and some are currently in isolation. As of yesterday, 1 staff member was treated at a local hospital and has since been released. Now, we're still working to get details and answers on some of the details, but we'll be bringing those to you at a later date. The Herald Republican says Cameron Memorial Hospital is ahead of the curve thanks to a low number of coronavirus patients in Steuben County and the surrounding area. The hospital shuffled some clinics and offices around to keep crowds small and prevent the spread of the virus, and so far it seems to be working. Executive Director of Strategy and Development Kelly Kearns says that the new respiratory clinic on the back side of the urgent care facility has seen a large and positive response. Now, she says as many as 23 patients per day are being tested there, though that number isn't reflected in the state's figures because Cameron is no longer using the state's testing facilities. Now, in total, 163 people have been tested at Cameron as of Tuesday morning, but the state only reports that 98 people have been tested in Steuben County. Well, that's because Cameron is now using LabCorp for testing, where they can get results back in 24 to 72 hours. The hospital had previously been using Indiana University Health, but they made a switch on Monday, as the state's testing process often took up to 2 weeks to complete. Cameron has also been seeing a significant number of patients from Michigan, not only because the state's line is just a few miles to the north, but also because employees have contracts with the Angola Hospital. And the hospital is currently working on ramping up their telehealth program, and the paper reports that most people will soon be seeing their doctors through their phone. On the opposite side of that coin, well, Hillsdale Hospital announced just before the weekend that they've had to temporarily reduce staff by nearly 10%, though, through layoffs and retirement. Now, due to significant loss in patient volumes, the revenue as the outbreak took hold. Now, in a Friday press release, the hospital says that they saw a sharp decline in volumes due to the cancellations by concerned patients before Hillsdale County even had any confirmed cases of COVID-19. The resulting decrease in revenue was projected to add a $6 million loss to the hospital's bottom line by the end of the fiscal year on June 30th. Chief Operating Officer J.J. Hodshire, who will take over for CEO Duke Anderson as of June 1st, says the current structure of Medicare and Medicaid payments leaves rural hospitals like Hillsdale fighting for even a 0% operating margin, especially because much of the rural America is an aging and impoverished population. On top of that, the executive order from Governor Gretchen Whitmer temporarily banning elective surgeries forced Hillsdale Hospital to make adjustments, and Hodshire said elective doesn't always mean unnecessary. He said those procedures are often preemptive measures to help patients avoid more serious health conditions in the future, so putting them off indefinitely could likely lead to more serious complications. The loss of revenue from those procedures is even worse than the loss from their other services. Hodshire said that the hospital had continued to care for the community while actively preparing for the pandemic, but without decisive action, the viability of the hospital and the long-term health of Hillsdale County residents and its economy could be in jeopardy. Now, Hillsdale Hospital is the third largest employer in Hillsdale County. To help offset the losses, the hospital has also stopped capital equipment purchases, wage adjustments, and hiring. Overtime hours and use of casual or as-needed staff has also been prohibited. Hodshire said he hopes that the emergency relief fund that's been promised arrives soon, but they added that it still will not make up for their losses. He also said the entire American healthcare system is in jeopardy, and even larger hospitals and healthcare groups will see significant losses greater than the operating margins can overcome. Hillsdale Hospital is providing paid time off, health insurance coverage with fully paid premiums, and paperwork for unemployment or underemployment to those affected by the cutbacks. The layoffs are intended to last for 45 days, at which point the hospital officials will reevaluate the situation. The Williams County has received almost $11,000 from the Ohio Supreme Court to install video conferencing equipment in local courtrooms. The Bryan Times says it's part of a $4 million emergency grant that was released last Thursday. Williams County Commissioners approved their share the same day, a total of $10,903. The technology is coming into heavy use amidst the coronavirus pandemic as court systems across the country try to keep pace of justice steady while still maintaining social distancing practices. Commissioner Terry Brummel said that it's a wave of the future, adding that if anything good came out of the coronavirus, he believes video conferencing technology in courtrooms is a positive thing. Commissioner Bryan Davis said the technology will end up saving the county almost $5,000 in annual technology fees that are currently being paid to the Correction Center of Northwest Ohio. At the same meeting, the Board of Commissioners formally approved a county-wide declaration of emergency to match the state. It's expected that the county declaration will open opportunities for future state and federal agency funding, though it's too early to know how much money that will be. The Michigan legislature has vetoed the Michigan legislature has voted to extend the Governor Gretchen Whitmer's emergency powers through April 30th, but they said that they are not willing to push the extension beyond that. Whitmer had asked the legislature for a concurrent resolution that would allow her to retain that authority for another 70 days, as the declaration had been set to expire yesterday. But WHTC reports that the Michigan House and the Senate were only willing to give her another 23, coinciding with the current recommendations for social distancing issued by the White House. Whitmer had argued that the pandemic is almost certain to reach the peak around that time, and that's bringing legislation back to Lansing to give her another extension would expose lawmakers to the coronavirus. State Representative Greg Van Workman of Norton Shores sent a letter to the governor last week asking for more transparency about the impact of the outbreak. He said yesterday that the state of emergency cannot be accurately predicted well into the middle of June, as the governor has proposed. He says evaluating the outbreak a few weeks at a time will allow for necessary flexibility and help maximize the state's efforts to stop the virus. Whitmer said Monday that she is waiting until later this week to announce whether or not she would extend the state's stay-at-home order, presumably so that she could get official word from the legislature first. The Bryan Board of Public Affairs has approved a Bryan Municipal Utility suspension of shutoffs due to the pandemic. According to the Times, BMU announced a temporary suspension of shutoffs due to the non-payment, which it is supervising board approved yesterday. Now, the suspension will last until May 1st when they'll reevaluate the situation. Late notices will continue to be sent out because of some financial assistance programs require them for documentation. Customers will still have to pay their bills, and if you're having difficulty with that, you're urged to contact BMU, the United Way, or the Community Action Commission, or call 211 for help. Once disconnections resume, overdue customers will get a 48-hour notice before losing service. B.P.A. members also noted that the BMU website has a now live chat feature that allows customers to ask questions during regular business hours. You can find that at cityofbryan.net. Well, still ahead, a deadly crash in Hillsdale County, and an Angola man is behind bars for the second time in a month. You're watching HTV1 News at noon.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety-packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
A Georgia man is dead after losing control on a rural Hillsdale County road. Now, it happened just after 6 last night on Cranberry Lake Road near Litchfield Road in Scipio Township. 77-year-old Carl Tressler of Woodbine, Georgia was southbound in a Ford F-150 when the vehicle left the roadway and hit a tree. Tressler was fatally injured in the crash. The Hillsdale County Sheriff's Office continues to investigate. A White Pigeon woman has been sentenced to probation after a theft from a Branch County home. The Coldwater Daily Reporter says 21-year-old Brittany Thomas earlier pleaded guilty to a third-degree home invasion and larceny of a firearm. The incident happened on January 30th at a home near Coldwater Lake. Thomas and co-defendant Kayla Brooks were caught on video as they broke a window on Shawnee Drive and stole computers, jewelry, and two small safes among other items. A tip to the Michigan State Police identified the duo, and the text messages implicated them in the crime. Thomas admitted that she stole items from the house, saying that she had been doing meth all day. She told Judge Bill O'Grady that she's trying to change her life now. Thomas is now spending 2 years on probation. Now, she was also sentenced to 6 months in jail, but that was suspended in light of her 89 days already served. She'll repay nearly $7,000 to either the homeowners or the insurance company. Now, Thomas was released from jail on Monday, and due to the coronavirus pandemic, she will be meeting her probation officer in places other than their office. It's the second domestic battery arrest in a month's time for an Angola man who is back in the Steuben County Jail. The Herald Republican says 22-year-old Alexander Bovey was arrested around 5 p.m. Monday. He's been charged with level 5 felony battery with a deadly weapon, as police said he hit another man in the house with brass knuckles. When authorities investigated the scene, they found the weapon underneath the refrigerator with some red material embedded in the design, presumably from the alleged victim. He is also charged with misdemeanor domestic battery for allegedly touching a woman roughly in the home. Bovee was arraigned via video yesterday. He had been released from jail in his own recognizance following the March 15th incident that left him charged with level 6 domestic battery in the presence of a child, as well as a misdemeanor criminal mischief. Because of that incident, a pretrial release in this case was revoked, and Bovee must post $8,000 bail, $5,000 for this case and $3,000 for the previous case. Bovee told the court he would hire his own attorney. His next court date has been set for June 15th. More news ahead. Small businesses are hoping for relief from emergency loans during the pandemic, but the rollout has been a bit shaky. Plus, an astronaut's wife caught in a lie. We'll explain when the News at Noon continues.
The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Does your vehicle sound like a tractor putting down the road? Then you need to see the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. They will give you a free estimate along with first-class customer service. They custom make any exhaust needed for your vehicle. Stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everyone, it's Brett Boyd from the Market House, where we have adjusted our hours to serve the community and keep our community and our associates safe. So now Market House is available to you from 9 until 6 every single day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with an exclusive shopping hour for seniors from 9 to 10. And don't forget our tech shopping service as well, 517-234-2020. Market House is here for you.
Well, the rollout of new small business loan program, a critical piece of the $2 trillion stimulus package, has been marred by glitches, system breakdowns, and general confusion. Phil McGatley reports.
We need to get money to small business and American workers, and that's what we're doing.
It's the backbone program of the largest economic rescue package in U.S. history.
My administration will continue to take the boldest action in history to bring immediate relief to the small businesses.
$350 billion for small businesses to save their employees amid the avalanche of layoffs nationwide. But despite the need and the president's effusive praise,
great loans for the banks and they're great loans for small business. People are loving it. They're really loving it.
Its rollout has been plagued by glitches, technical failures, and confusion.
Got off to a bad start last Friday,
accelerating the anxiety for millions of small businesses on the precipice of collapse. Administration officials and lawmakers say the issues are to be expected.
anytime you design a program that applies to 90% of the companies in America and spends $345 billion and you have 6 days to do it, you're going to have glitches.
The scale of the program is more than 10 times what the Small Business Administration guaranteed just 1 year ago. And government officials had just 7 days to turn legislation,
the bill is passed,
into an economy-saving program.
The whole point of this program is to keep 50% of America back at work so that small businesses can reopen quickly.
One that would provide loans of up to $10 million to businesses with under 500 employees. But more than that, those loans would be forgiven, essentially turned into grants, if that money was used to pay salaries, payroll expenses, or business costs like mortgages and rent. But the exceedingly tight timeline left many of the details too open-ended for some lenders to even get online in its initial days, multiple bank executives told CNN. The largest community bank trade group firing off a Saturday night letter noting, quote, community bankers remain frustrated with a myriad of unanswered questions and lack of clear instruction on how to complete loans through the SBA. And when guidance was provided, it came just hours before the program was set to launch. The largest banks initially put limits on which customers they would serve, infuriating some business owners, while others repeatedly ran into notices like this: websites going down or under maintenance due to the sheer volume of applications, all as lenders face the government's own technological issues, as the SBA's system for processing loans was down for hours at a time, several sources told CNN. The rocky start, something Trump himself tried to look past.
I mean, it's only been going for a couple of days. It's really been performing well. couple of little glitches, minor glitches that have already been taken care of.
Yet there has been some progress in the days since the initial launch.
As of today, SBA has processed over $70 billion in guaranteed loans.
And each day, administration officials, lenders, and small businesses say the process is starting to smooth out, and lawmakers already considering adding another $250 billion to the program, underscoring both the urgency and volume of the crisis for small businesses, but also their faith that the problems will be worked out, even if participants say some of the current optimism.
It has become so popular. It's really a tribute to government, really well-run government.
Isn't merited.
Congratulations on this success.
Just yet.
The Department of Health and Human Services now has a contract with GM to manufacture 30,000 ventilators for the national stockpile. HHS announced the $489 million contract on Wednesday. It was drawn up under the Defense Production Act in the response to the coronavirus outbreak. The 1950 law allows the government more control to direct industrial production during emergencies. The strategic national stockpile is set to receive the ventilators by the end of August. The production schedule allows for the delivery of just over 6,000 ventilators by June 1st. The CDC has updated its website to remove dosage guidance on hydrochlorine. Now, it's currently used to treat malaria, rheumatoid arthritis, and other autoimmune diseases, but it's been touted by President Trump and other state officials as a possible treatment for COVID-19. The updated CDC guidelines for hydroxychloroquine is shorter and no longer gives dosage information, details, nor studies about the drug. The FDA hasn't approved the drug to treat the coronavirus, and experts, including Dr. Anthony Fauci, have warned the administration that the drug is unproven and that there are dangers in the promoting it before data backs up its efficiency. On Tuesday, Representative Doug Collins said that the Amneal Pharmaceuticals, Inc. has donated 200,000 doses of hydrochlorine sulfate to Georgia's Department of Public Health for potential use. As U.S. District Court judge has denied singer R. Kelly's request to be let out of the Chicago federal prison due to the coronavirus pandemic. Kelly is currently scheduled to go on trial in New York in July for charges including kidnapping and sexual exploitation of a child. He's facing sex abuse charges in multiple jurisdictions. Kelly had surgery while incarcerated, and his attorney asked last month that he be let out on bail due to the risk of contracting COVID-19. However, in denying his request for release, the judge said the singer hadn't explained how his surgical history placed him at greater risk of severe illness. Additionally, she pointed out that there were no confirmed COVID-19 cases at the facility where Kelly is being held. The judge also rejected Kelly's argument that social distancing protocols had inhibited his ability to prepare for his upcoming trial. Now, she had noted Kelly spoke with his attorneys on the phone as recently as March 18th. Additionally, the judge said it was unlikely that Kelly's case would start on July 7th as scheduled. Well, it's a crime that's out of this world, literally, or at least according to a summer warden. Now, she's the one in the hot seat right now. And her soon-to-be ex-wife is decorated NASA astronaut Annie McClain, who spent 6 months on the International Space Station last year. Now, Ward accused her of identity thief from space, saying that the astronaut used a space station computer to access her bank account without her permission. Well, the thing is, the couple shared username and password information on that account. And McClain says she did access the account, but it was just to keep an eye on things since Warden was caring for their son. No money was taken or moved, but Warden says it was all part of McClain's plan to win custody. But the feds say Warden lied to them about when she opened the account and when she changed the login credentials. And now she's being indicted on 2 charges of lying to federal authorities. She'll be in court later this month, and she could be facing up to 5 years in prison on each count and maximum fine of $250,000. Well, it's supposed to be a Masters week in Augusta, but after a break, we'll show you what's happening instead.
El Cerrito's variety-packed menu has something for everyone. With generous servings and lots of flavor, you'll think of it as a fiesta for your taste buds. Dine in or carry out at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Well, it's supposed to be Masters Week in Augusta, but after the break, we will show you. Oh, we already read that, didn't we? I can't get my stories seem to get it right tonight. It's just one of them days, folks. I'm sorry. Well, it should be Masters Week, and Tiger Woods should be wearing his green jacket at the championship dinner, but instead of being in Augusta, thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, Woods is celebrating responsibly at home on Tuesday. He sent out a tweet where he was indeed wearing the green jacket while hugging his kids, girlfriend, and 2 dogs. His champions dinner at home consisted of sushi and sashimi and steak and chicken fajitas. The 2020 Masters has been postponed until November 12th through the 15th. Woods should have the opportunity to have his real Masters Championship dinner there on November 10th. Well, you can see that when we come back, a colorful light show returns to one's areas downtown. HTV1 News at noon. We'll be right back, and we are live. Hey everybody, Scott Piano with HTV1. I tell you what, we've got another great concert ready for you this Saturday night for our studio concert series right here, right on this very spot where I'm standing. We're going to have none other than Hillsdale's very own Russ Martin sitting right here in this chair and singing. Well, probably not into that mic. We'll get to bring his own mic, but because of this whole pandemic thing going on, we want to welcome you to check us out here on Saturday night, 7 p.m. live right here on Facebook and on our HTV1.net. You can check out this concert. It's going to be another great one. Tara Renee did a great job. We are raising money for a great cause, which is going, the money is going to be going, all the proceeds are going to be going to the food banks and food pantries in our area as this pandemic continues to carry on. We want to make sure that the people that need the help when the time comes for them, that they have the help and they have the food to support themselves and their families. So check it out right here on HTV1. The studio concert series this Saturday, 7 p.m. at night with none other than Hillsdale's very own Russ Martin. Well, finally today, check out this picture of the Courthouse Square in downtown Bryan, courtesy of the Bryan Area Chamber of Commerce. The Bryan Times says that the Chamber and Bryan Municipal Utilities have agreed to keep the lights on 24/7 to show support for essential workers during the coronavirus pandemic and to just generally add some color downtown. The lights are usually only turned on during Christmas time, and if you look at the fountain, you can see red and blue lights have been added to it. Bryan Chamber Executive Director Dan Yaris told the paper on Monday that it's a great way to show hope and faith for our communities during the lockdown and show that we appreciate all essential workers and pray for their safety. He also thanked BMU, saying that the lights would not be possible without their support, both in physical placement and in terms of electricity that lights them. There's no timetable for how long the lights will stay on, but Yaris says he supports the effort to stop the spread of the coronavirus and hopes that life gets back to normal as soon as possible. Well, those are today's top stories. We'll see you right back here tomorrow for HTV1 News at noon. Don't forget, you can find more news in our live broadcast streams right here 24/7 at htv1.net. For all of us here at HTV1, I'm Scott Pienta, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon and have a great day, everyone.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everyone, it's Brett Boyd from the Market House, where we have adjusted our hours to serve the community and keep our community and our associates safe. So now Market House is available to you from 9 until 6 every single day, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with an exclusive shopping hour for seniors from 9 to 10. And don't forget our text shopping service as well, 517-234-2020. Market House is here for you.